I don't know if I'm on yet. It's like the same thing every single time I go live. Okay, I'm probably on now because it says it's redirecting me. So let's see. Right. I don't know if I can cram all this in. I may have been a little too excited to talk when I created that title, but I'm going to try to address a few comments that just came up on yesterday's video. Let me make sure I'm plugged in here. Yeah. I'm going to get the live chat over here. Yesterday's video with my amazing client, there were a couple comments that I want to respond to quickly because if anybody's triggered by anything that they hear, you have to always remember that your triggers are revealing something that's within you. So instead of projecting your stuff and your story onto others and other people's and others' lives and others' stories and situations and others' manifestations and being super judgmental, it's really important that you instead look at your own reaction as revealing something to you that is active within you. Because if you look at things from a more empowering place like that, then instead of remaining in a victim state of experiencing the things that you don't want in your reality, you kind of take things in your own hands. You go within, you address the limiting, the fears, the worries, and the doubts that are literally programmed within you in your subconscious. You make new choices, and then you trust in that, and you do the inner work to release and let go of the old story. So anyway, I just want to, I thought of coming on quickly today to talk about third parties, because a lot of you guys realize and understand that third parties aren't just always a person. Anything that seems to appear to be a reason that is separating or preventing you from being able to have the love that you deserve, the relationship that you deserve with your specific person, anything is a third party. But in terms of third party being another person, and if somebody knows that their specific person is the love of their life, and somehow, some way, through them having some sort of a form of one or all of the following: an abandonment wound, a rejection story, not being worthy, not being good enough, not being able to have what they want, not being a priority, not being chosen. All of that kind of stems from the same thing. But if you have that active within you, you meet your specific person. And if you also have a fear that they would choose somebody over you, then that will most likely end up playing out. Like, for example, I don't have that kind of story within me when it comes to me and my mirror soul. Like, it just doesn't exist. But I may have other stories of bags that I brought into the relationship that will then end up having to be mirrored back to me. And I have to accept that. And I have to accept that when things go dark, that it's my stuff and it's being projected back to me. That is taking full responsibility. And then, whatever. So I'm not going to go and talk about things from Hannah's perspective because that's not my place. So when it comes to third parties, we accept that these things were created from our fears, worries, and the doubts, the program that we brought into the relationship, and now we project it onto our person. When it comes to dating, when you're manifesting things with your specific person and you're tired of being alone and you want to date others, if you aren't somebody who is completely and fully understanding what manifestation is, and if you believe that this is more of like a hybrid way of thinking and manifesting, and it can work, but it also can backfire, and it also can be something that you end up manifesting a completely different thing, but you end up being happy. If you are somebody who is like I am a faithful, monogamous, one-on-one person, my heart belongs to my Marisol Hannah. I'm devoted. I am like, there is nobody else for me. So if me and Hannah were in separation, and if I was focusing on us being married together, not us just kind of getting to know each other and increased communication, and that maybe we're both dating other people. If I'm focusing on being the wife, then it would be very hard for me to maintain some sort of an energetic being conscious and aware of myself being a wife and really embodying that and also entertaining other people. It wouldn't make sense. And I personally would not be able to do it because I am not somebody who could be with more than one person at once. That's because that's me. However, if you are somebody that you are just like, you know who your specific person is, and you think that this is somebody you do want to spend the rest of your life with, but you're not quite there of like, you're okay with there being progressive steps. Like you're okay. You're not necessarily, maybe you're not even a monogamous person. And if that's the case, it's totally fine too. And there's no judgment. You don't have to be a monogamous one-on-one faithful person. But let's just say that you bring it back a little bit because maybe you're at a place where you're like, okay, life is short and I want to be enjoying myself. And I want the experience of holding somebody. I want somebody to be holding me. I want affection. And it's not coming from a place of lack and needing somebody else to come in and fill your cup up. Okay. Because that's important that you don't do that. But if you're feeling like I'm totally, completely loving myself, and right now in this moment in my life, I am thinking more that with my specific person, instead of me thinking of the end of being married, so I'm not thinking of myself as being the wife, but I'm thinking of myself as being in the dating phase, that we're going to progressively get to know each other more. We're going to be texting each other more, communicating to see if our values align, to see if we're this and that. If this is where you are, that you actually want to see, you're not 100% sure yet that this is the one you want to spend the rest of your life with. Maybe you are in a phase where you just want to be dating people. Then for you, it is okay for you to date other people too. But if you decide, no, my specific person, I believe this is the one, the love of my life that I want to spend the rest of my life with. So I want to embody the state of marriage because that is my end. If that is your end, it might be very challenging for you to be able to play both roles. To me, you would be being very double-minded, also being affectionate and feeling the energy of another person, getting attention from another person. That to me, if a lot of people are having a challenge just staying in the end of being together with that person and they're not able to stop themselves from wavering, I think that that imposes even a greater challenge of being able to stay focused, of allowing that kind of love and life together to come into your life. That is just my opinion. Marriage and divorce. Somebody asked me yesterday I think it was yesterday's video, I'm not sure, but they said, I am married and I am very unhappy. Like, I don't remember verbatim. I'm married. I'm very unhappy. I want to manifest divorce. My husband or wife, whomever, is not my SP. What do I do? What I would do if I were you, because, and do take this very seriously too. Number one, you want to see that it was a very harmonious parting, that this worked out in the favor for you and for the other person. I want you to see the other person as being incredibly relieved and in sync with you, on the same page with you. I want you to see them in their highest and best, being able to find the love of their life that treats them the way they need to be treated, and see them happy with somebody else, and see yourself happy. And I want you to see over and over and over again, I want you to imagine having such an amazing and incredible heart-to-heart conversation with them, that it is such, you guys are so in sync, like you guys are so on the same page, that they're like, oh my God, I'm so relieved that you feel that way because I've been wanting to talk to you about this too. That's how I want you to see it. What happened with me, I was married, and this is going to segue right into what I wanted to talk about. I want to give an example of me and Hannah, not of an actual experience that we had, but I want to use us as a scenario because I want to make a very strong point to another two people who commented under yesterday's video with my client who's manifesting amazing movement with her person after 6.5 years. Okay, so let me get my breath here. This will be one thing that will segue into the next. When I didn't fully, completely understand all of this, what I'm teaching now. So I don't know what year it was, but way, way, way back, when I was married to the person I was not supposed to be with. This was not my true love. I knew it when I met the person. This is not my true love. This is not who I belong with. I actually didn't even want to get married, but I ended up getting married out of this feeling of obligation. And a lot of people actually do this. It was like I was allowing guilt to basically control me. I was not in my power at all. Early on in that relationship, the person subtly threatened me, but it was kind of in a playful way. But I remember deep down, it really scared me. And it was something along the lines of, if you ever leave, I'm just warning you. And the thing that they said was very like in the 3D, I was like, I'm not going anywhere, of course. Like, yeah, like you don't even have to say that to me. But deep down, I was like, I was super scared. And that made an impression in me. And I didn't realize that it did, but it did over time, month after month, year after year, year after year in the relationship. I was never happy because I knew that this wasn't the person I was supposed to be with. And I was always extremely honest. I was always extremely honest with what was happening and wanting to make it work. What ended up happening was because year after year after year after year, a lot of resentment built up and I wasn't checking myself at all. And I just should have stepped into my power and done exactly what I just told you guys to do. And the parting would have been harmonious. It would have been easy and simple. Instead, I entangled myself in a web and I created a situation where all of the fear that had been planted within me from years earlier on when that comment was made, that all came to pass. And it ended up being an incredibly painful and hard 3D experience that you guys can save a lot of heartache by in advance when you know, be honest, always be true to yourself, always be honest. Don't lead anybody on, but do a little bit of foundational groundwork before you have the conversation that you were saying it in unconditional love, that it's going to be a harmonious conversation, that the two of you guys are going to see eye to eye, that this is going to be something that they want to, and that they deserve to have, they absolutely deserve to have as much love in their life as you have in your life. So see them again as being happy and moving on. Now, this brings me to my next point that I want to talk about with today's live. At some point, before I met Hannah, me and Hannah have a lot of synchronicities. There are a lot of things about our past that are very different, but there are a lot of things that are also very much alike, which was always very interesting to learn about. And that's how these mirror soul connections tend to work out. I, at one point, was in that unhealthy marriage, and I'm going to use that as an example. And by the way, I have fully and completely forgiven that person, and I wish her well, and I hope that she is completely enriched in her life and that she's with somebody who's giving her the love that she absolutely deserves, that I never could have. I just couldn't give to her because it just wasn't, we weren't right together. Okay. So, and I take full responsibility for all of the things that I did that were wrong in that relationship. So I just want to say that I don't blame her for anything. I don't resent her for anything. Full forgiveness, for that matter, with all of my anyone in my past at this point in my life, because I'm very much aware. Okay. At some point, now Hannah is my mirror soul. This is the person, this is my true love. Okay. At some point, and even when he shares pictures of himself from years and years ago, my heart just like melts. And I just always say, and I know that this just is how it ended up being manifested. This is how the chain of events and stuff. But I always say, like, I wish I could give all of the past, I don't want to cry. I wish I could give the past 30 years of my life to you. I wish that we could have been together way, way, way back before we manifested the unhealthy, toxic situations in our realities that caused us the baggage that then we had to kind of work out between us, because how heavenly and blissful that would have been. But the thing I wanted to say was, if anybody watched yesterday's video, a couple comments were made. One person was triggered because they were in a marriage and they were betrayed in that marriage. And so they were like, how could I not be triggered by watching this? Well, number one, I want you to notice that your trigger is revealing something to you that's very important for you to see. This is a completely different story with my client yesterday after 6.5 years that, now, she's experiencing him coming towards her, and that the marriage, which he did not belong with the other person. This is the part that you guys are getting, that I want to use as an example with me and Hannah as kind of a scenario. And I'll get to that in a second. if you're triggered by yesterday's video because you experienced your spouse betraying you, that is not what happened with me and my client and her specific person after the 6.5 years is not the same scenario. You are projecting your stuff onto her story the same way you projected your stuff onto your person, onto your spouse. If you're going to be taking full responsibility and understanding manifestation, you have to start checking yourself when you're triggered by things and say, okay, I'm triggered because something is active within me. So you have to recognize that totally different scenario, totally different story. This is not a story of betrayal. Another person made another comment that this is the reason why I wanted to make this video. So let's use me and Hannah as an example, as a made up scenario. If knowing that Hannah is my one and that we were both with other people that we did not belong with, and if you want to call them, I hate to get into this kind of stuff and I'm not going to be making videos on this because these are just terms and words, but let's just call it so we can have, for the sake of words, Hannah was with his karmic partner. I was with my karmic partner for the sake of the video. Okay. Very toxic situations. Okay. So all of the baggage from those toxic situations then come into our sacred love. And when those things come up, that becomes toxic between us. But we are not toxic. Our love is not toxic. We are perfectly compatible, but the toxic baggage needs to go. So now let's go back. Let's pretend the timeline was different. And when I look at a picture, for example, of him 20 years ago, and I say, oh my God, we would have been so incredible together because we wouldn't have had this wound and that wound and that wound and that wound. If we had met back then, knowing now, right, that we are each other's true love, I belong with him, but I'm with somebody else and he's with somebody else. And the timing of it that was it. If I maintain being appropriate in the 3D, and then I trust that I'm doing whatever the right thing is for me to be doing in my 3D reality, I'm acting perfectly appropriate. And I trust and I allow that God, universe source, the same God that created all of us as being the gods creating for God, like we are all the many to one God. We are God pushed out, and everyone in our reality is us pushed out. And that's how God is creating through us, right? So if I become aware, because I'm in the position, like this would be you guys who are watching my videos. If you are aware that you're not with the love of your life, this isn't the person, and they're not with, that you guys just like, it's an instant recognition. You belong together. There's literally nothing wrong with you trusting and allowing God to bring you guys back together and doing the inner work. There's nothing deceitful being done. There's no betrayals. But here's the thing. The person that recognizes it first is the one that leads and heals the connection. Okay, so in this situation, using me and Hannah as an example, if we had met way back when I was with the wrong person and he was with the wrong person, and I was like, this is my person. This is the love of my life. This is the one that God created me to love. He doesn't belong with this person. It would be up to me to make the decision to get out of what I'm in and go into deep trust and allow and accept that when I give myself all of the love that I deserve and I become whole and complete within myself, and I do all of the inner work like I talk about in all of my videos in other SP kind of situations, then I would trust, I would be in a state of complete trust, relaxation, confidence, and I would be being very zen about it, that it's nothing against the karmic partner, but that we actually belong together. We ended up with the wrong people. Okay, that is a situation. Now, if you're coming from a different kind of situation that you were with your husband or wife and your husband or wife betrayed you, that is not the same situation. And if you get triggered by stories like this, that is showing you that it's active within you. And this is very important for you to get. It's active within you that you don't actually believe that you are the one. You're not believing that you are the one and the only one for your person. You're not believing that you are mean the world to them, that you are everything to them. There is some form of a story that you are actually not good enough or not chosen or not prioritized, or you're going to be abandoned or rejected. Think about it from all angles and see yourself as being the priority. You have to see also that they realize the mistake that they made. Now, personally, this is just me personally, because I have certain boundaries in my reality. If I ever experienced that, then I would probably just be like, yeah, no, this isn't, if you have to get to a place where you actually can completely, fully take full responsibility for the experience and completely 100% forgive and allow the person to come back in a better and stronger spouse that they learned from the experience, that maybe you guys get counseling or something. I don't know what the 3D is going to end up unfolding, how it's going to unfold, but your story should not be getting projected on to other situations. When somebody manifests their specific person back, when their specific person was their specific person, and there ended up being the separation because of the wounds that was in the person that manifested them back. And then that is not your story. So when you project yourself onto it, or when you judge it and you're coming out like that's not moral, there's nothing immoral about trusting in your heart, not doing anything manipulative in the 3D, not doing anything inappropriate in the 3D, and also that the person allows themselves to get out of the situation that they're in and they're remaining single. It doesn't mean they're not manipulating anything and they're not doing anything inappropriate when they just trust that their soul recognition that this is my person, exactly how it would have been had I met Hannah, whatever, how many years ago, 10, 15, 20 years ago, when we were both in those karmic, and these are just labels, I'm not into that thing, but let's just say the karmic relationships. Okay. Does that make sense? So there would be literally nothing immoral or wrong about me desiring and wanting Hannah and trusting and allowing God to unravel him out of that situation and me to be able to pull him through so we can actually love each other, appreciate each other, adore each other, and heal each other. There would be nothing wrong with that. That actually would be a very beautiful thing. So I just wanted to say that. I hope that this video was of some value. I do have to go because I have a client coming up. I did want to also, well, there was another thing I wanted to share, but I actually don't have time to. So I'll see if I can take one question because let me see, let me check my calendar. I needed to get that off my chest today. So I have 2-hour back-to-back sessions starting in a minute. So I'm going to have to cut this right now. I will see if there's anything really quickly. I hope I made all of my points. I'm going to give you guys some love. I hope that that made sense for you guys. I do, by the way, I have 3 more specific person success stories that I want to create videos of over the next few days, hopefully. I may need to ask a couple of my clients to email me some details because I meet so many people, so I don't remember a lot of the best details, but I have a lot of coming up that's going to be very inspirational. So let me see if I can find a question for all of you guys I didn't get a chance to say hi to. I love all of you guys. Let's see. Okay, Diane wrote, wow, caught you live for the first time. Hi, Cambridge, love your hair, Kim. Thank you. Mars, Robin, resistance comes from the story you were telling. Okay, so I missed something. I don't think I'm going to be able to get to anybody's question. I'm really praying and I'm hoping, Courtney, I've had so much movement lately. It sent me running at first. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, because you still have a little bit of a fear. So, you want to let God, universe, source heal the little part of you that wants to run. Okay, I get it completely, but allow yourself to know that it's safe. You don't have to run. Relationships are safe. Commitment is safe. It's safe. Your specific person is safe. It's safe to love your specific person. You guys are each other's safe haven. You guys love each other, adore each other. You bring out the best in each other. That's an important thing that I'm constantly saying now. We bring out the best in each other. We bring out the best in each other. We bring out the best in each other. We're both healed enough and we now get to enjoy each other. So I want you to have that kind of mantra. I do have to go. I love you guys so much. I know for a fact, affirm it below that something in this video struck you and shifted you. And that's it. That's all I have to say. I love you. Have an amazing day. I will talk to you guys soon. I'll do another video either later today or sometime this weekend. Again, I have three stories that I need to get a little more clear on. I'll be making some videos on it. Okay. I love you so much. Have an amazing day. Oh, I want to show you this. Hold on. This is, I'm going to mess up my hair now for my next client. I just got this. Let me see. I just got this new hat. Super cute, right? So this hat, I love this hat so much. I'm going to collect a few of these hats from, this is Gorin Brothers. They make these special like limited edition hats. And I've never been a hat person, but I friggin' love this so much. Little majestic butterfly. So shout out to my client I met with yesterday. The butterfly is a symbol of his specific person. It means a lot to him. And I told him I would do a video and I would kind of give him a shout out. So this is your shout out. The other thing I wanted to say is, oh, what did I want to tell you? Do I have time to tell you this? I don't think I do. Anyway, actually, I do. I have time. So one of the things that I love about him, now I can't take my hat off because my hair is going to have hat hair. He, in the past 3 months since we've been working together, he actually has such major shifts and he's such a success. The things haven't solidified with his person just yet, but he has changed how he sees life, how he sees himself, how he sees coworkers, his boss, how he deals with projects and situations, that he literally has zero anxiety and he feels completely limitless. And now as things come up in his reality, they're reflecting all of this power back to him. And to me, this is one of the biggest and deepest kinds of success stories because his entire life has changed over the last 3 months since we've been coaching together. He's become such a strong and incredibly powerful version of himself. So when he's ready, and his SP comes back and comes home to him because he is her home and she is his home. When they're home together and they're back together, he is going to be so confident and so empowered and strong that this is going to be it. It's going to be the love of a lifetime, and they're going to be so incredibly happy for it. So shout out to you. I'm so proud of you. You're doing incredibly, amazingly well, as is all of my clients. I love you guys so, 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 so much. Have an amazing day, and I got to go to my client now. Okay. Love you. Bye.